Hey guys, Greta Questenberry here. And I have something I want to share with you today about macros. I'm here to clear up some confusion for you about macros, explain what they are, why they are important, also tell you how to figure up macros as a starting point to lose body fat. But just so you know, it's not a prescription. It's not a end all, fix all. It's a starting point. And as coaches in our metabolic mapping program, we do this for clients, but there's so much more that we take into consideration than these numbers that I'm going to share. But like I said, this is a good starting point. So I have some notes on my phone here. So you probably have heard people say things like, just eat more protein. You probably heard me say that. Carbs are bad. I haven't said that. Fat makes you fat. I haven't said that either. You need to count macros. You don't need to count macros. So no wonder people feel overwhelmed. So my goal today is to simplify things and help you understand what macros are, why they matter, and how you can calculate a starting point for your own nutrition. So let's start first with what a macro actually is. Macro is short for macronutrient, and there are three macronutrients. There's protein, there's carbohydrates or carbs, and fat. So every food you eat is made up of usually one or more of these macronutrients. And each one plays a unique and special role in our body. So let's start with protein. Protein is probably the most important macronutrient for women who are trying to lose body fat. Protein helps build and maintain muscle. It helps you recover from your workouts. It keeps you feeling full longer, and it has the highest thermic effect of food, meaning your body actually burns more calories digesting protein than it does digesting carbohydrates or fat. And one of the biggest mistakes I see women make is trying to lose weight while eating very little protein. And when that happens, they often lose muscle along with that body fat. So the goal isn't just to weigh less. I can cut off your leg and you can weigh less. The goal is to have a healthier body composition. So now, let's talk about carbohydrates. Poor carbs. Carbs have been blamed for almost everything over the last couple decades. And the truth is that carbohydrates are your body's preferred energy source. They fuel your workouts, they fuel your daily movement, they fuel your brain. They help replenish glycogen stores after exercise. Can you lose weight while eating carbs? Absolutely. Can you gain weight while eating carbs? Absolutely. The same is true for protein and fat. Carbs are not the enemy. And like any other nutrient, they simply need to fit within your overall calorie intake. Now let's talk about fat. Fat is incredibly important for overall health. Dietary fat supports your hormone function. Hello, we need that, right? We need that support. It helps your body absorb certain vitamins, it supports brain health, and it helps meals feel more satisfying. And many women spent years avoiding fat because they were told it would make them fat. But healthy fats are essential for a healthy body. So if protein, carbs, and fats are all important, what's the balance? But they help create a balance. Protein supports muscle and fullness, carbohydrates support energy and performance, and fat supports hormones and just overall health. And when we get the right balance, we often feel better, we recover better, perform better, and have an easier time maintaining healthy habits. So let's talk about calories, because this is where a lot of people get confused. Macros are important, but macros are not magic. I'm going to repeat that. Macros are not magic. If your goal is fat loss, you still have to be mindful of your calorie intake. You can eat a perfectly balanced macros and still gain weight if you're consistently eating more calories than your body needs. Likewise, you can lose weight eating less than perfect macros if you're in a calorie deficit. The reason I like focusing on macros is because they help us improve the quality of those calories. They help us feel better. They help us preserve muscle. They help us manage hunger big time. But calories still matter. Now let's walk through a simple starting point for calculating your own nutrition targets. So I just want to say we are going to have a cheat sheet for this. So if you don't get all this, it's a lot of math. It's a lot of math. So if you don't get all this, you can ask at the end for the cheat sheet, okay? So the first thing we want to do is estimate maintenance calories. So like how many calories does it take to maintain your body weight right now? So whatever you weigh right now, so you have to know what you weigh, which means you have to get on a scale to see what you weigh, sorry. But you want to take your body weight and multiply that by 10. Then you're going to multiply that number by an activity factor. If you're sedentary, you're going to multiply it by 1.2. If you're lightly active, that means you might walk some, you might go lift weights once a week. You're going to multiply that by 1.375. If you're moderately active, which means you might work out 3 times a week, maybe 4, you multiply that by 1.55. And if you're very active, 1.725. And if you're extra active, now this is for someone who probably works out at least 6 days a week, pretty hard, and has a very active job. You're going to multiply that by 1.9. I think sometimes when we're figuring up our maintenance calories, we give ourselves way too much credit for the activity that we do and we multiply by too much. So if you're kind of teetering between two, choose the lesser one. So this gives you an estimate of your maintenance calories. Like I said, what it takes to maintain your current body weight. So if your goal is fat loss, you're going to subtract between 200 and 500 calories from that number. Most people do best starting between 200 and 300 calories. Now let's calculate protein. Take your target body weight, and multiply it by 0.8. That gives you a protein target in grams. When we work with clients, we actually go a little bit higher than this just to ensure they get at least 0.8 grams of protein per pound of target body weight. See, we do a lot of math. So for fat consumption, you want to multiply your target body weight by 0.3, and that gives you your target fat in grams. And for fiber, which I want to say fiber is not a macronutrient, but it is so important for keeping your body healthy. So you want to take those calories, divide by 1,000, and multiply by 14. So basically, for every 1,000 calories you're eating, you need 14 grams of fiber. Please don't just eat 1,000 calories, okay? Please don't. That's a little caveat. So that gives you, like I said, your daily fiber goal. So finally, let's calculate carbohydrates. Take your total calories. Don't turn me off yet. I'm going to have a cheat sheet. Subtract the calories coming from protein. Protein has 4 calories per gram. Okay? Then subtract the calories coming from fat. Fat contains 9 calories per gram. Take the remaining calories and divide by 4. And that's your carbohydrate target in grams. Now remember, these numbers are a starting point. They are not a personalized prescription for you. 2 women can calculate the exact same macros and get very different results because metabolism is influenced by many other things, including, we've talked about it before, sleep, stress, activity level, hormones, your muscle mass, dieting history. Are you recovered? Are you staying consistent? Have you been struggling with energy? So your metabolism or your fat loss results may simply not be, like if you're having problems with fat loss, it might simply not be a macro problem. It may be a bigger picture problem. So that's why I offer a free metabolic assessment. I've done this before, this year even, but when you do a metabolic assessment, I look at your current habits, your nutrition, your activity level, your stress, your sleep, your goals, to help identify what could possibly be holding you back. So if you'd like more information about that, send me a message. I have opened up a few more spots for these assessments. I think I did this back in April. I've gotten through those. So I hope this cleared up some confusion around macros. So remember, protein, carbs, and fats are all important. Macros matter, but they are not magic. Focus on consistency, balance, and building habits you can maintain long term. Guys, if you can't do something for 10 years, don't do it for 10 minutes. So find something that is sustainable. Now, if you would like that cheat sheet, comment cheat sheet below and we'll send it to you. Or to save your brain, hire one of our coaches to figure it all out for you and to take all those other things into consideration. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, message me about that too. So message me if you want the metabolic assessment or if you want to talk more about working with one of our coaches. If you want the cheat sheet to help you with all this math, comment cheat sheet below and we will send that to you. Have a great rest of your day.